Hello, City Life Gardening. We're in a much better mood today than we were yesterday in yesterday's video. But I did just want to start off with showing how sometimes the machete can be useful in surprising ways. This side's a lot tighter actually. The other side had a gap. Maybe I should have showed you on the other one, because this one's going to be fun to figure out how to do. Yeah, I think here's going to be my best bet. And that's how you undo two plastic straps. And I'm going to go put the machete back in its sheath, and I will be right back. I think I'm going to clean my glasses too before I come back to finish up what we're doing. I think right now I'm just honestly placing these. I'm going to try and get them in the sun and space decently. Yeah, I'll be right back. This is going to be a good day. So, we are back, and we have our pile of soil, and I think we've got our row and plenty enough sun, and then the other two to make 7. I think we've got them spaced good for blueberries. They're about, I'd say 5 to 6 feet on center, because I did about 3 to 4 foot. I just had a stick, and I did like an inch or two more than that between them, and I've since slightly adjusted them, but they're mostly evenly spaced at about that distance. And I was measuring from the outside to the outside. I think some fire ant just got me or something on the side of my shit. Not shoe, flip flop, that is. Because shoe wouldn't make sense, because how would it get me on the shoe? But flip flop. Yeah, I think it got me. Sole through the flop. Either that or I stepped on a bindi, but we're not in Australia, so I don't think we have those here. But sorry, more on topic. And yeah, I plan to fill it with some Daddy Pete's, which I may get some pine bark nuggets, but this Daddy Pete's here is one of the blends that has pine bark fines in it. I think almost all their blends have that in it, except for some of their finer ones maybe. Like, I'm not sure if the Perennial Pleaser has a lot of pine bark nuggets in it. I remember it kind of being a finer, softer type of blend. I feel like mine had some either Cocoa Coir or oh goodness, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh wow, I cannot believe I'm spacing on that. It's probably because I just said Cocoa Coir, and now I can't think of the other word. Not rock wool, but oh goodness, peat moss. There we go. Yeah, it seemed like it might have had some fine peat moss, like not how sometimes you'll get a lot of peat moss in a blend and it'll be big bunches. It was nice and fine and like it had been sifted. I remember the last time I got the Perennial Pleaser, but this time I just got a ton of the potting mix. But I think I'm going to pause on the blueberry job for now, actually, and maybe back, the car's still running, back the hatch up to about right here, and throw probably just 2 of these in, and drive them over to the edge of the garden and to that one new bed that I have, and then go grab some fertilizer and fertilize and scratch in to where I have the soil level now, then add some more soil, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and plant some onion sets there. And so that may be the main topic of today's video, is the onion sets, and blueberry bed spacing, I guess is what I'll call it. And, so yeah, to save time, and this video is already starting to run longer than I thought for the intro. We're at almost 5 minutes now. Yeah, we'll go ahead and pause and get to working on that, and I'll join you there with some information on onions and how deep you want to plant, and typically when. I feel like it would have been a few weeks before now, but it's been exceedingly cool for it already being, I think it's May 15th now. And yeah, it was like in the 30s last night, and ooh, my ears popped. That felt nice. My sinuses are being fun. I don't think it likes these like 30 and 40 degree temperature swings we have at the curves of the seasons, winter to spring and summer to fall. It just does not like those times of year anymore as I get older. I feel like my voice may have changed because of my ear popping. Maybe it's just the way I'm hearing the world changed since it popped so much. But let's pause and get over there before we hit 6 minutes and show you some things on planting onion sets. Okay, we have parked conveniently close, and we have brought the Trifecta Plus, the soil to top it off, onion sets, and some good old earthworm casting. And that's what we're going to use to feed our onions. Together, they will be great, as well as the good stuff that's in the soil to begin with. I'm going to go ahead and actually two-hand opening these, and I'll be right back with you to show about how much we're going to work in here. Okay, and so for the Trifecta Plus here, I've went ahead and opened it up. It's just a nice granular fertilizer. I've talked about it on the channel before. It's a nice 5-10-4 blend on the NPK. It also has quite a few beneficial bacteria and fungus, which they even tell you which ones. And trace minerals, bacteria and fungus. They tell you which bacteria and fungus. There's a bacteria, beneficial fungi. Tell you which ones. That's so cool. And they tell you the analysis on it. And I'll have to make a post where I take a nice legible picture of the entire package, or copy it from the internet, maybe. This is really good stuff. I really like it. But we're about to shake this in. Give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that one. And we're just gonna give it a nice little coverage. Make sure we get all the little spots. And then we're also going to work this in. Just rubbing it in. Just a little bit. We're going to cover it anyway. Just to work it in. Feel how moist the soil is underneath. Just to gauge maybe how moist some of the stuff I've watered recently would be. But everything else is pretty dry. I need to water everything pretty bad. There are some beans. If I can even see what the screen is showing because it's so bright. There's a lot of work going around here. Sorry for the noise. We do have some Blue Lake bush beans growing there. Yeah, we're definitely doing work. Doing work around here. Alright. So, up next. Give me 2 hands. I love a good bag of earthworm castings, y'all. Oh, just smell it and just, oh, how fine it is. Oh, it's so lovely. Earthworm castings are nice. This is a 4-pound bag. Actually, I'm probably going to go ahead and use the same little cup. I'm probably going to try and get like a whole pint. But I didn't quite get that, so I'm just going to come back with the second trip. We're just going to spread this. I might even do 2 big scoops. I think I might do a whole nother big scoop. And one cool thing about earthworm castings is sometimes, depending on how it's packaged and whatnot, and this seems to be pretty, just by the wording on the packaging, I don't know, you can sell anything I guess, but seems like they tried to put some care into it, so there may be some earthworm eggs in here, and that would be cool, because then they just start vermicomposting in your bed for you. You know, they may go deep enough. Sorry for the noise, but they may go deep enough. Oh my goodness. There is a lot of sawing going on, but they may go deep enough and kind of escape, or crawl out the top and escape. But I mean, if you give them a good home, maybe they'll stay around. And I'm also going to just come through and work this in a little bit. Just to have a nice little layer worked in. All the way around. I love worm castings in the grapefruit garden, so I'm going to give it a little more even. Another decent sized scoop. And just really quickly work that scoop in. And so we fertilize with worm compost. Well, that is what it is. But when casting put on the side. And these are 50 quart bags. I feel like it won't be quite brimmed with one. Let's go ahead and throw one on and see. We're already at almost 12 minutes. I'll try and hurry up and start using the pause button some more, guys. Okay, and there's where we're at after one more 50 quart bag. I think I'm going to go ahead and open the next one and really top it off. And also remember that there's wing nuts at the top. And to just, I don't know, plant in inch and a half from the edge. And it may not take the whole bag, but I'm going to go ahead and open another bag and see how much it takes. Okay, I did go ahead and dump the whole bag. It is mounted up pretty high. And there was just a pinch, like probably about that much that spilled over. But that's just because I piled it up at the very last lift on the bag. But yeah, if we spread it around, I'm pretty sure we're just going to be right at the brim all the way around. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit since we're so close in. Be a smart videographer for the channel. Oh my gosh, what is getting me? I swear something's getting me. Sweat bees or something. I'm not even sweaty yet. I'm actually wearing a hoodie because it was chilly this morning. Very chilly. It's 30 overnight. And it's already middle of May. It's not quite that unusual for here to get a late frost or temperatures that low about now. But it's never fun when it happens, even if it's not that surprising to us. We've been here a while in this area. We definitely know what it's like here. Alright, yeah, I think we're about even all the way around. And this will settle in some more once I water it in. I'm considering watering it in before I put the onion sets in. But I think what I'm actually going to do... Sorry about the engine noise, but yeah, we're going to throw down maybe one more cup worth of, not cup measurement, but like about a pint, a little under, of some fertilizer here. So yeah, here's where we're at. Another 100 quarts added. I don't have this very full, so I'm probably not going to add the whole cup that I have. The whole amount that I have in the cup, that is, rather. Just a good solid spread to where it looks like I have it everywhere. On top. This is just going to make sure it has some more immediate access to some available nutrients and all that beneficial bacteria and fungi. And we're just going to work it in just slightly, just so we can also find any clumps, because we did just kind of dump the entire bag. So I'm not surprised to find a clump in the middle here where we dumped the majority of it. Just kind of work your fingers in Make sure you don't have any big clumps that are too compact. Try not to spill any over the edge onto your flip-flop open toes, because soil is precious. And it's not about the dollars that you pay for the bag. It just is precious. Alright. So now, give me one moment. I'm noticing they didn't get labeled, but about a pound of white onions, which appear to be these. And a pound of yellow onions, which, yeah, these are going to be the yellow onions. I didn't get sweet onions. I really love sweet onions, but maybe I should have and just put the sweet onions in the main garden area somewhere, a big patch of them. But I just figured 2 pounds of sets was enough, because that's how much they weigh as a set. So that's going to yield probably at least 2 or 3 pounds of onions, if not more, if I let them all. I'm probably going to harvest about half of them as they're growing to use the greens, and as a smaller onion. And to allow more space for the other ones, I'll be harvesting like every other one, because I'll be planting them about 2 inches apart. Let's go ahead and do that while at the same time. Alright, and so what you want to do with onions is you want to just cover the top, just like that. You don't want to plant them too deep. You want to make sure you have the pointy end up. Oh, goodness, Buzz, get off me. I'm getting buzzed. Don't buzz me. Go get a flower somewhere, bro. Oh my gosh. Please, y'all. Sometimes gardening is like that, though. Bzzz in your ear, and you're just like worried you're gonna get stung when you're trying to be nice to all your pollinator friends. Alright, and so yeah, just so the tip is just barely covered and or barely poking out, whichever way you want to put it. And I think, oh, don't do blowing. Okay. I'm gonna put a few more in, and then I might pause and come back once we're done with these. Yeah, okay, give me a moment, then I'll show you about how I spaced them. Okay, so after blowing some dirt off, these are the white onions planted in. I went about 2 inches in between, and then I didn't have a whole row left over, so I kind of just try to squeeze them in some empty areas. And I'm going to go ahead and get the yellow onions in and try and squeeze them in on this other half. We ended right here at this line. To the left of that is our white onions. To the right of that is going to be our yellows. I think we're going to have a little more room for our yellows than we used for our whites, just because we didn't put 4 right there where I kind of put that line. So let's get to it. There were only like 2, maybe 3 of those. It just felt so soft I didn't think they would grow, so I didn't toss them. That is to be expected. It's middle of May. I'm pretty sure they've had these available for a while. But we're just going to come through, and about every 2 inches, just stick them in, just to where the tops are just sticking out still. It's really as deep as you want to go. For some information on planting onions in the video, some of the most common mistakes people make with onions is planting them too deep. You don't want them too deep, especially by sets. A lot of people get sets and think like, oh, I'm supposed to bury the onion. Really, for almost every onion type, they do so much better if they just kind of grow on top of the soil rather than in the soil. You want the roots to be in the soil, but really the onion part can be partly or mostly above ground. That's kind of what allows them to bulb up so big, is having that room, and also just they won't be happy if they're not planting it about the right depth. This guy feels a little, if I can get him in the shot, yeah, he's smushed. He's not going to grow, so we're just going to throw him into the, well, he didn't quite make it, but I was going to say compost him in the main garden area. Well, this guy's trying to join his friend. Come up here and join him up here, buddy. And one more. And start another row. Maybe give a little more room between them. And kind of being a little close about it. I do plan to come back through, like I said, and about harvest every other one. So I can plant them a little closer, but I've got ample space. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to keep it in frame, but I'm just kind of moving fast at this point. Got to coordinate both hands so they keep up with each other. Alright, and some of these are, yeah, we'll just push these over here. And yeah, we'll start giving a little more room. Oh my goodness, stop crawling on me. Everything is just trying to eat me alive today. They don't try to eat my garden alive, they try to eat me. Alright, here's another yellow one. That's like 2 and 2 in each type that I thought were just way too soft to be viable. I'm even not going to get so close to the edge on this one, since I can tell we're going to have somewhat of ample space. Maybe we'll stick something else on the end here in whatever room is left over after this row. There will be about 4 inches or so of open space. I'm pretty sure I read that you don't want to plant onion sets with sage, so I don't think I'll bring the sage over to put here, but yeah, I could probably squeeze something in like right here and right here, or just maybe one basil plant kind of in the middle, because they'll take up some space once they get bigger. But that's about all we want to do for right now. I'm just going to go through and kind of blow some of the excess paper that has broke off to kind of clean up the look of the place and see how exposed some of the more exposed ones are. Maybe give them a little bit of soil cover just to protect from the sun, but kind of leave them able to spread out and grow and bulb up. And alright, now all we gotta do is water. This video is too long already, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you watering. I'm gonna pause and get there. Gather the things. Happy gardening, everybody. Actually, I'm debating. We're at 23 minutes. I may or may not add another minute of water time. I'm gonna go ahead and pause and think on that. Okay. Got my trusty dusty bucket and watering can combo. I'll meet you at the creek. This one's getting long. guess I'm gonna get this water in this bucket and watering can that I have with me. And get into the garden before this gets any longer. I just did want to give you guys a little bit of a meditation. I love it down here. It's my spot. It really put some skin on your bones, hair on your back, chest, muscles on you, whatever you want to call it, to do it the way they used to. Note to self, I kind of know better, but bring a second bucket. That way you get your watering can and a full bucket, and not just about 1 gallon or so in the bucket. Just because there's not great access to a super deep spot. I don't know, I've thought about in the past, like, one, doing a water wheel there, generating electricity, but also maybe even just a water access with like a pulley system with a bucket on it, and then a way to retrieve the bucket to shore somehow. I haven't quite got there, but I feel like pulley system, and then have the thing the pulley's on swingable, but locked in place when you don't want to swing it. Anyway, so let me tell you, that was some energy I expended to get basically 3 gallons of water, which normally I would get about 4.5 in a bucket, and about 2 minutes of waiting after flipping the house filter to bypass it so that we don't put more stuff through the filter and use it up super fast, putting gallons of water on the garden. And yeah, it just, I don't know, makes you think. Next time bring 2 buckets or 3, that way you can use 1 to fill 2 all the way, and then once you get the 2 filled, use your 2 real quick to fill your watering cans while you're down there that you brought with you too. You can carry your watering cans back and then top off your other 2 buckets and leave your filler bucket down there. Alright, let's get back to the garden. Alright, I might be out of breath. That was either a hike and a half, or I'm getting old and out of shape, or both. I'm going to take a breather and be right back to water you, or to water this, and sign off with you, that is. Phew. I guess walking back and forth 2 or 3 times just did me in. But yeah, let's transfer to this silver can in just 1 second. And happy gardening, everybody. I hope you have a great day. Let me know what you're planting in your garden in the comments. And also, I should mention as well real quick before I transfer the water. So one mistake a lot of people make is they plant too deep with their onions. Another thing, the reason I put as much fertilizer and worm castings as I did is because onions and alliums are heavy feeders. Maybe not quite as heavy as, say, like a watermelon, or I don't know, just another really, really, really heavy feeder, but they do like to be, have some fertile soil to grow in, and so I just try to help them out with that. So do note that if you're planting onions. You don't have to go crazy overboard, but they do like a feeding. So I just start with that because it also has the beneficial bacteria and fungus, and the worm castings are just always good. And you can always top dress with the worm castings or the Trifecta Plus as well, actually. But alright, let's get this transferred over before this is 30 minutes long. It's going to be 30 minutes long, guys. Honestly, it's been a long day. I initially forgot to pick up the camera, so I'd already started. I was just kind of thinking out loud to myself a couple of things, and then I was like, wait a minute. What are we doing? We're making a 30-minute YouTube video. Make the video. I don't think any of these are too terribly shallow. I'll just try and uncover that so that tip can sprout some green. In my usual process, except for this time, it's water from the creek. Fairly certain I don't necessarily have to worry about too terribly many pollutants this far up, as long as my neighbors aren't doing anything stupid upstream. I don't know, pouring gasoline in it or anything. I ought to be alright. Let's see if we can get this one-handed. think these guys are happy. I'm gonna go ahead and hit some of these cabbages that are popping up here. They're really small. That guy right there is one. There's some more. There's about one everywhere I planted a seed. Everywhere I'm stopping is somewhere I see one. I kind of don't see any in the rest of this row. But I'm also not looking that awful hard. But yeah, I gotta come out and water this stuff. I think I might actually use the house water. And probably about 10 to 15 gallons. Probably at least 2 fill-ups on a bucket, if not 3. Because I'm pretty sure the reason that bean... Yeah, here's a neat thing I can show you before we head out. Pretty sure this guy's a radish. And this bean here, I'm pretty sure why his leaves are up is because he's kind of screaming, it's hot and I'm dry. And so it's kind of trying to avoid the sun right now until it gets some water. But anyway, happy gardening, everybody. Much love, one love. Let me know what you're doing in the comments. And don't worry, I normally don't invest into the garden this crazy, but this year I did get those 7 planters and this guy, and I feel like I'm on track for the normal amount of soil that I would buy, but just because I try to add Daddy Pete's into the garden every year too, just everywhere I plant, because I don't necessarily have the expendableness of having multiple pallets of Daddy Pete's here. That would be cool. Maybe one day if I sell it myself, but just order a couple extra pallets for me. Anyway, but yeah, guys, it's been a good one, a long one. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll quit stretching the intro. Have a good one. Happy gardening.